This isn't just about price pumps. This is about the very foundation of global finance being rewired, right before our eyes. If you've been focused on utility-based projects, especially those with strong ties to the US, then what happened in the last 24 hours will redefine your entire investment thesis. Get ready, because the future isn't coming. It just arrived. And it's set to unleash monumental gains for projects like XRP, HBAR, Stellar Lumen XLM, and ONDO. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the events of the past day that have irrevocably reshaped the financial landscape. This isn't just about crypto, it's about the everything cycle, the undeniable move of every single financial process onto blockchain and distributed ledger technology, DLT. Paper-based systems are dead. Manual processes are dying. Automation, driven by cutting-edge tech like AI, is taking over. And here's why this matters to your portfolio. Those who resist, who fail to understand these shifts, will be left behind. But those who invest in the very technologies enabling this automation, who grasp the critical role of projects like HBAR, XRP, and Stellar Lumen XLM, they stand to benefit immensely. We are in the beginning stages of blockchain being integrated into the global financial system. We'll show you the precise confirmations that prove this, and why the US is now leading the charge. While the mainstream media was focused elsewhere, a quiet revolution was unfolding in the background. An elite, powerhouse team of experts just made a move that went almost entirely unnoticed by the average investor. This group, collaborating directly with global financial regulators, is tackling the exact challenges that have hindered banks from fully integrating with public blockchain infrastructure. But here's the real kicker. Look at the names involved. Among them are the very projects we've championed for years. What is this overlooked alliance, and how does its direct engagement with policymakers in the last 24 hours unlock the next phase of institutional adoption for assets like XRP, HBAR, and Stellar Lumen XLM? Let's peel back the layers. The overlooked alliance is the OMFIF's Digital Monetary Institute, DMI Public Blockchain Working Group. OMFIF is the official monetary and financial institutions forum, basically, a super-exclusive club for central banks, sovereign funds, and financial institutions. This isn't some backroom chat. This is a direct collaboration between cutting-edge blockchain projects and the very regulators who dictate global financial policy. And guess who's at the table? Hetera HBR, Ripple, XRP, and Stellar XLM. Yes, the very three projects we constantly discuss on this channel for their enterprise utility are actively working with global financial regulators to assert the robustness of public, permissionless infrastructure. They're demonstrating their role as safe, responsible participants in the transformation of capital markets. Think of it, the people who once questioned crypto are now sitting down with the likes of HBAR, XRP, and XLM to build the future. Their findings will be published in a report this November, with key policy recommendations and insights formed during meetings with regulators and commercial banks throughout July and September. This is direct engagement with policymakers on blockchain engagement frameworks. The momentum is building so much that these big banks have to get behind this. This is the integration phase, happening now. And the fact that the original post about this had only 2,000 views underscores just how early you are to this critical information. For years, it felt like the US government and crypto were at war. Regulation by enforcement, Operation Choke Point 2.0, a constant uphill battle. But then, in the last 24 hours, we saw something truly unthinkable. A top US official, a powerful voice, not just acknowledging crypto, but celebrating it. What was this unprecedented endorsement, and how does it signal the official ushering in of the golden age of crypto right here in America, directly benefiting assets like HBAR and XRP? The unthinkable happened. The CFTC chairman, Caroline D. Pham, under President Donald Trump's leadership, unequivocally declared, "The golden age of crypto is here." This isn't just rhetoric. This is a clear signal that the US government is not just no longer ignoring crypto, but embracing it at the federal level. And then came the bombshell from the SEC. Chairman Paul Atkins, in a landmark speech, unveiled Project Crypto. This is a commission-wide initiative to modernize US securities regulation for the blockchain era. He explicitly stated their vision, a clear path forward that embraces tokenized securities, stablecoins, and crypto-native infrastructure as core components of American capital markets. He acknowledged that past regulatory ambiguity pushed innovation offshore, and his goal is to reshore crypto businesses that fled the country. Think of the monumental shift. The SEC, once seen as an adversary, is now saying, "We welcome all market participants who are hungry to innovate." This is a coordinated roadmap for digital assets, including clear rules for the CFTC and SEC, support for stablecoins and DeFi, and meaningful tax updates. This is the US preparing to lead the digital finance revolution, not follow. And who is included in this pivotal document and leading the charge? Projects like Hetera, HBAR, XRP, and ONDO are explicitly mentioned, cementing their place at the forefront of this new era. This is not just promising, it's confirmation of their vital roles. But how quickly will this new regulatory environment translate into tangible market impact? The answers, astonishingly, came within the last 24 hours with two major approvals that will unleash a tidal wave of institutional capital and, crucially, set off a domino effect for specific altcoins. What were these two approvals, and why do they fundamentally change the game for every major altcoin, including HBAR, XRP, and stellar Lumen XLM? This is the concrete evidence of the golden age being implemented. In the last 24 hours, the SEC officially approved in-kind creations and redemptions for spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. What does in-kind mean? Simply put, before, if a big institution wanted to create or redeem ETF shares, they had to deal with cash, which meant more friction, more taxes, and more complexity. Now, with in-kind, they can directly exchange the underlying Bitcoin or Ethereum for ETF shares, and vice versa. Think of it like swapping a digital gold bar for a certificate that represents it, instantly and directly. This makes these ETFs significantly more efficient, cheaper, and attractive for large institutional players. This move aligns crypto ETFs with traditional commodity ETPs, creating a level playing field and paving the way for future altcoin ETFs. As Bloomberg analysts pointed out, by approving in-kind for BTC and ETH, the SEC sets a precedent for Solana, Avalanche, and crucially, XRP, HBAR, and stellar Lumen XLM ETFs to follow suit. And it gets better. The NYSE and CBOE have filed for frameworks to list generic crypto ETFs. This means once approved, future crypto ETFs won't need to go through months of individual SEC reviews. It streamlines the entire process, accelerating the launch of more crypto-based products. The White House is working to usher in this golden age of crypto, and the SEC, NYSE, and CBOE are all working in concert. This isn't just a shift. Everything has changed in just the last 24 hours. So we're seeing unprecedented regulatory clarity, major institutional interest, and the infrastructure for ETFs rapidly being built out, all here in the US. But why does this specifically give a massive, undeniable advantage to certain crypto projects over others? There's a clear focus emerging on what we call the Made in America category of crypto. What is this advantage, and how does it directly benefit the likes of XRP, HBAR, stellar Lumen XLM, and ONDO above their global competitors? For years, crypto innovation sometimes felt like it was playing hide-and-seek with US regulators, pushing development overseas. But with the Trump administration's clear policy, the Genius Act, and SEC's Project Crypto, the narrative has completely flipped. The US is now actively seeking to onshore crypto businesses and innovation. This creates a massive Made in America advantage. When financial institutions, especially those in the US, look to integrate blockchain, they prioritize projects with clear regulatory standing, robust compliance frameworks, and a strong presence within the US legal system. This significantly reduces their risk. This is why projects like XRP, with its newfound clarity post-SEC lawsuit, and Hetera HBR, which has always prioritized enterprise-grade governance and regulatory compliance with its council members, are perfectly positioned. Stellar Lumen XLM, with its focus on cross-border payments and strong ties to US-based financial services, also benefits immensely. And Ondo Finance ONDO, a pure play into the tokenization of real-world assets, RWA, becomes a clear frontrunner as the US embraces on-chain capital markets. These projects aren't just technically sound, they are jurisdictionally compliant. They are the safe, reliable bridges that traditional finance can build upon without fear of future regulatory crackdowns. This is why you must pay attention to this specific category of digital assets. We've talked about the broader shift and the Made in America advantage. But there's an almost invisible yet incredibly powerful force at play specifically with Hetera HBR that elevates it beyond mere US-friendly status. This force is building the very backbone of future global finance, quietly attracting the biggest names in the world. What is this unseen force, and why does it position HBAR not just for growth, but for an explosive foundational role in the coming multi-trillion-dollar tokenized economy? The unseen force driving Hetera HBR is its unique governance model and enterprise-grade technology. Unlike many decentralized projects, Hetera is governed by a council of the world's leading organizations. Think Google, IBM, Boeing, Dell, LG, Standard Bank. These aren't just partners, they are governors of the network, ensuring stability, security, and enterprise adoption at an unprecedented scale. Imagine a technology so robust and compliant that the largest corporations in the world trust it with their critical infrastructure. That's Hetera's hash graph. It's faster, more secure, and incredibly energy efficient compared to traditional blockchains, making it ideal for the high-volume, low-cost transactions that global finance demands. This is why HBAR is at the forefront of real-world asset, RWA tokenization. When the SEC chairman is talking about tokenized securities, bonds, and other assets, Hetera is building the rails for it. We're seeing HBAR Foundation investing in tokenized money market funds, directly connecting traditional finance with the Hetera network. The DTCC, the World Bank Clearstream, all these major players are connected to this ecosystem. Hetera isn't just a crypto project, it's the distributed ledger technology that multinational corporations are choosing as the foundation for their next generation of financial products and services. This isn't about speculation, it's about utility, adoption, and the quiet building of the Internet of Value. Every transaction on this network requires HBAR, creating a built-in sustained demand that scales with the global economy. This is why HBAR is destined to be a top-tier asset. So we have clarity, adoption, and a clear path for US-based crypto projects. But what's the ultimate implication of these monumental shifts that just happened in the last 24 hours? What does this mean for the everyday investor, and when will we truly see this go into overdrive? There's a final undeniable sign that the time for waiting is over. What is this sign, and how will it directly lead to an explosive period of utilization at scale for assets like HBAR? This is the climax. The last 24 hours have confirmed that we are now fully in the integration phase, which will inevitably lead to the utilization phase at scale. The big banks are no longer just exploring, they are prepping these markets for mass adoption. Consider these facts. Crypto hitting a $4 trillion market cap. Stablecoins hitting $270 billion in market cap, now becoming 1.1% of the global M2 money supply, that's broad money, including cash, checking deposits, and liquid assets. This means digital cash is becoming a significant part of the global money supply. Tokenized assets projected to reach $18 trillion. The chairman of the SEC, Paul Atkins, just said it himself, now's the time to engage, contribute, and help shape what comes next. He's welcoming crypto businesses back to the US. This is the government asking for crypto innovation. We are witnessing a shift from pilots to practice. Banks are diversifying portfolios, enabling crypto payments, offering custody, and tokenizing assets because digital assets are no longer optional for longevity. The financial infrastructure of the future will depend on this technology. This is confirmation that crypto is about to be integrated into every single major bank's infrastructure. The market is simply too big to ignore. The shift is here. We no longer have to wait. And this is exactly the environment where utility-based assets, especially HBAR, will shine. This is not a drill. The events of the last 24 hours have fundamentally altered the trajectory of crypto. The regulatory landscape has cleared. The financial institutions are committed. The technology is proven and being adopted at the highest levels. And at the epicenter of this seismic shift stands Hetera HBAR. While XRP continues its vital role in cross-border payments and stellar Lumen XLM builds global payment rails, HBAR represents something even more profound, the enterprise-grade foundation for everything else. It's the DLT chosen by giants to build the future of finance, tokenized assets, and even identity on-chain. If you've been looking for the one project that truly embodies the future of everything moving on-chain, the project that is quietly, methodically, and compliantly integrating with the world's most powerful entities, it is HBAR. Its unique hashgraph technology, its governing council, its focus on real-world utility, All of this now converges with a definitive green light from US regulators and the undeniable push from traditional finance. We are in the days that our future children will read about. The events of 2025 alone will reshape the financial system forever. This is not a game of if this is going to happen, it's happening now. And HBAR in this new paradigm is positioned not just for growth, but to be a fundamental piece of the global financial backbone. The market is about to go into overdrive around adoption, integration, and acceptance. Now is the best time to be locked in, to truly understand the power of your HBAR holdings. You now understand the sheer magnitude of what just unfolded in the last 24 hours. This isn't just about price, it's about being on the right side of the greatest wealth transfer in modern history. The shift is here, and projects like XRP, HBAR, Stellar Lumen XLM, and ONDO are leading the charge. To ensure you're fully prepared to capitalize on this incredible opportunity, I urge you to watch our deep dive into the specific catalysts and price targets for BAR's explosive growth in this new era. Click on the video here to ensure you have all the information you need to thrive in the golden age of crypto. Don't just witness the future, build your legacy within it.